delusional company wages war against its fans. Oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. All right, by Crit Crab. All right, let's see what you got.
If the newest leak about the future of Dungeons & Dragons is to be believed, then D&D is at war with its community, creators, and player base. This video will cover everything that led up to this point and why creators are walking away from D&D entirely. To start from the beginning, D&D had a huge surge of popularity in the mid to late 2010s for a multitude of reasons during the reign of 5th edition. This drove more creators towards it. Content creators of all...
because it was like popular. Like of course, everybody know Dungeons and Dragons, of course. But then like it rose up. It rose up out of the grave, out of nowhere after like expanded or whatever.
Be they writers, artists, designers, YouTubers, manufacturers. They all gathered around this game. It was a nexus of creative flow. Over the course of several years, D&D became less of a brand and more of a community. It meant more than the player's handbook or the starter set. It meant RuneSmith's Twisted Taverns. It
made it bigger than what it was.
More than anything else, it meant enjoying it in your own way. All the way down to the unique way that you run the game at your table. Third-party content reinvented Dungeons & Dragons, and it is the only reason I'm here at all. I own exactly one D&D book, the Player's Handbook. But I own countless pieces of third-party content, from books to merch. Wizards of the Coast...
it's kind of like with Overwatch and people, fans and all that stuff. Like the art community and, you know, other communities also kept that game going.
Can't keep up with the creators, and they know that. Every time they release one good book, creators have already released 10 excellent works of art, with 10 more on the way. And the execs at Wizards and Hasbro know this. This is a trend that has only been getting more popular. Third-party content creators have been knocking it out of the park lately. Just look at
just like when you see like mods for games and stuff. Like I remember literally just playing Spider-Man or whatever, and then you just go searching Spider-Man mods, and you're like, oh, this freaking looks better than freaking the actual game, the one that's in the game, or this one looks more polished up, more, even better, or like a slight little detail that makes the character looks more better, you know?
The Kickstarters. So many creators from around the world were creating, profiting, and building communities around specific niches in the D&D community, cultivating the best ways to enjoy this one game in many different styles.
Many different ways.
Generally speaking, everything improved. Anyways, D&D had a golden age for close to 10 years now. But of course, nothing lasts forever. It's time for the bad news.
Here we go.
In late 2022, the CEOs of Hasbro and Wizards had an investor call where it was discussed that D&D as a brand is under-monetized.
Really?
This raised red flags throughout the community, and for good reason. Of everything discussed, and there was a lot, I'm just going to focus on the most relevant of the flaming mess that is the current state of Dungeons & Dragons public relations. To quote Game Rant, Wizards of the Coast is seeking to transform Dungeons & Dragons into a multimedia franchise, with more options for profit as it seeks to create a recurring spending environment.
Recurring spending environment? You trying to have like a live, so they want a live service of Dungeons and Dragons. What?
That reaches more fans. So people spent the next week memeing about a Dungeons and Dragons battle pass complete with microtransactions.
That's what I was saying.
But the word multimedia is key. Multimedia, of course, means movies, video games, and more than just tabletop. But this seems to have been altered, as just a couple days ago, on January 3rd, it was revealed that Hasbro has had some financial difficulties. Their shares fell 40% last year. The company also canceled an internal project codenamed Jabberwocky and 2 other games that were in early development. Also, we should take into account the fact that Dungeons & Dragons is by far Wizards' biggest IP. I don't think anyone would disagree with the fact that when it comes to public awareness and cultural impact, Dungeons & Dragons is bigger than anything else that Wizards of the Coast has ever done. However, despite being the biggest role-playing game ever made, out of the $1.3 billion in net revenue that Wizards of the Coast posted last year, a UBS analyst estimates that D&D is only responsible for 100 to 150 million in annual revenue.
Yeah, so that's on D&D's problem because they are not producing what Wizards of the Coast doing.
1 to 150 million is a lot, but that's not exactly the point.
Right.
The point is that from a corporate perspective, something as huge and game-changing as Dungeons & Dragons should generate more profit.
Right. Okay.
This could mean a lot of things, but in my opinion, this suggests that D&D is shifting away from expensive video game projects and refocusing on mastering making money off of the
they're trying to go for the live service
game
model, which is
stupid. And who better to monetize than the people who create their own content better than them? This takes us to the open
like
game.
I said, that's on somebody. That's like literally making a, I don't know, fucking hamburger. It's like the SpongeBob method, you know. You got the Krabby Patty and you got the crust. What is it? The bucket, Plankton's fucking thing, and they just, oh yeah, they just want to take the money. They literally want to take the formula and the money from Wizards or whatever. That's what they want to do.
For those who don't know, any Dungeons & Dragons content that is created by anyone other than Wizards can only do so because of the open game license. A document that effectively allows people to create and profit off of their own original Dungeons & Dragons content.
Yeah.
No paperwork needed, no need to pay anyone royalties, just go for it. That is about to change big time. What we know for sure, just before the end of the year, they released a blog statement stating exactly what their goals are. Coming very soon in 2023, they stated that any creator has to abide by these rules. 1. If you make more than $50K a year off of what you create, you have to report your revenue annually to them.
2.
Include a creator product badge on your work. And 3. Accept the license terms and let them know what you're offering for sale. They also added that if you create content and it makes $750,000 within the span of 1 year, you will have to pay royalties on that.
See, that's full of shit because that right there, I'm pretty sure those people that's the people, the fans or whatever, who's making that much money, they like probably disputing that money to other people. And, you know, other people got to get paid for, you know, just doing the work. That's why you making all this damn money, making billions of money. But while D&D is, you know, sitting there collecting dust and you making it interesting and doing all this other creative process, like I say, creative process. And these guys are just making your game popular because it's open. It's an open license, and now you got a problem with it.
This change has caused,
and then you want to get money from
the community,
aka royalties
from it.
Many
say that these changes are all completely reasonable, while another huge group of people are saying that this is all either terrible right now, or a slippery slope.
It's gonna get worse. It's literally gonna get worse. It's gonna go from, hey, this game is great. This game is great. Oh, hey, pay us money, bitch. Hey, pay us money. Hey, that's our property. Hey, pay us money, damn it.
Something much worse. If the leak that we're about
this is literally almost like the equivalent of buying an NFL shirt, and then you go to the stadium with that shirt, and then they like, hey, take that off. That's our property. What? Yeah, you got to pay us royalties for coming in. But I bought no. You got to pay us royalties though.
It is to be believed, then the people who believe the worst from Dungeons and Dragons,
it's literally going. It's going to get to that point.
Yesterday,
pretty much what I'm
January
saying.
4th, a journalist named Linda Codega stated that she received the new OGL from a reputable, unnamed source, and it's a lot to take in. What's written in here is genuinely community killing. Yeah, she writes that the updated open game license.
It's literally, like I said, it's literally taking your fans' jersey away from them. They got the shirt, they got the door on. They come to the stadium. You own the stadium, and you look at them like, hey, you got to pay us royalties for that.
Is incredibly restrictive, demands community surveillance, and most importantly, renders the previous open game license an unauthorized agreement.
Yo.
I will also clarify that this is all unconfirmed, and while I will show you signs that I believe
if it's heading that direction,
true, they still
it will go that way
and should not be treated.
It's kind of like when Nintendo. Didn't Nintendo try this method too? I'm pretty sure Nintendo tried to try this method with their little fans and creative programs, and that went to shit.
First off, if this is to be believed, just to let you know how much of a big deal this is, the current OGL is just less than 900 words,
if this actually goes through,
which is pretty short for a legal document. Basically, just enough to say, go do what you want, champ, it's all yours. The new OGL 1.1, as they call it, is over 9,000 words, which means they are adding a lot. Also, we finally have a set number for the royalties you owe. You will owe 25% on any money that you make that exceeds 750K. The leak also says that if you release on Kickstarter, you only have to pay 20%.
Wow.
Which sounds strange, but the director of games at Kickstarter, John Ritter, retweeted the thread with the leak and said that Kickstarter was contacted after Wizards decided to make OGL changes. So Kickstarter managed to get a lower percent plus more being discussed for people releasing D&D content. In my opinion, this gives the rest of the leak a bit more credibility. It's still unconfirmed, of course, but this means that at least this one select part of the leak is much more than just he said, she said, hearsay, given that someone who can speak on the subject with authority is only affirming this part of the leak. This OGL is in fact pointing its barrel at you, the creator. They state that the original OGL
they're literally just trying to take your money. Like I said, you owe us. You bought the game, or this is your. Are you the fan? Are you a fan? Are you a fan of me? Hey, give me some money. Give me royalties. What? But it's open. It's your license is free. No. Give us money though. What's that Angry Joe? What's that shit called?
Intended to
I gotta find it.
You done fucked it up.
And it's still an open game license agreement, so
and they have a lot of competition in the form of their own community. Some people say that this spells a dark future for games like Pathfinder, but personally, I do not think that any other independent RPG is in any danger here whatsoever. The new OGL will be applied retroactively to anything published before the new one went into effect. As soon as the new one goes up, the original will be unauthorized, meaning that you can't just leave the new 1D&D alone, create previous edition content, and be good. You have to comply with the new rules for every edition. The legality of this one is questionable, and I've heard debate online over whether or not they can even do this. I don't know either way, but this was in the leak. However, we are now at the absolute worst change in the entire document that leaves creators with zero security. Wizards can, quote, modify or terminate.
This is why this is why some laws need to change, because these companies could get away with this bullshit like this. Like, hey, we can just threaten our fans and hey, there's no consequences. Hey,
this agreement for any reason whatsoever, provided that they give 30 days notice. So if any of you thought that 750K was a weird number for them to settle on, and that it was just a starting point, you may be correct. It means that
they just want the foot in the door,
and Wizards can effectively do whatever they want.
Just want the foot in the door.
If they wanted to own everything you created under the OGL, they would just give you a 30 days notice.
Exactly, like I said, they just want to put their foot in the door. Hey, this is my house. Hey, you making our content? That's ours. Like what? Yeah, we taking your house. What?
Carry on their merry way. Not that they have to. The leak states that the company already gets the right to use anything that you create however they want. Wizards will have a, quote, non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, sub-licensable, royalty-free license to use your content for any purpose.
Wow.
There are many other changes in this 9,000-word document, but these are the most important ones, and I think they get the point across.
I don't know if
Lastly,
it'll go that far, but if it does, that's
has not
fucking
commented
wild.
on any
That's
of
some
this
wild-ass
since it
shit.
became news. Now,
no way.
What does all of this mean for the future of Dungeons
That means
and Dragons?
your fans gonna
in the official
killing your
statement
fans or
by
killing your
Wizards,
fan base.
this is before the leak, Wizards of the Coast told us that these changes exist to stop two things: third parties from making NFTs and big businesses exploiting their intellectual property. Now, I'm not sure about you, but
that's a
I have
little
not
smart
been
little
seeing
strategy
any
to throw
of
in
this.
NFTs
I haven't
in there.
seen any NFTs, and I haven't heard from big businesses exploiting D&D.
Exactly.
Unless, of course, they consider you, the creator, the exploiter.
Yep.
They have already publicly stated that they feel owed if you make a certain amount of money, and with a clause that says that they can change the rules whenever they want, I suspect their ambitions do not stop at 750k. If all of this is true, and I'm being very careful to say that it may not be true, but for now, working with this leak that Wizards of the Coast has not confirmed or denied, many creators who make their livelihood off of D&D content are shaking in their boots, and for good reason. So, what does this mean?
This is literally like fan art, pretty much. It's like, hey, we can sue you and take your fan art from being take it. We can take it. It's ours. You drew our character. It's ours now. What, you spent 2 hours, 3 hours? It's ours. Thank you. Thank you for your service. It's ours. That's drawing you made is ours.
The future of Dungeons and Dragons. If this is true, shows like Dimension 20 and Critical Role will step away from D&D. Publishers will distance themselves as well, releasing content that is compatible with, but not officially a product for, D&D. Creators like me, who have been working on 5th edition content, will be discouraged and stop. Between the leaks and what we know now,
it's literally attacking you.
This
it's literally going to attack you specifically, literally. And oh man, we might even get this to stop NFTs. No, you're really going the heart of your fan base. Since your fans, like I said, your fan base kept your series alive and made a lot of money off of it because this is an open license game. And you took that as, we want that cut. We want that goddamn cut, boy. Give me that goddamn cut.
Wizards of the Coast, more than it hurts the community. The community is only as hurt as we allow ourselves to be.
Yep.
For me, I'm unfazed. I play several systems outside D&D, and I know the creators are not going to stop creating. Even if the creators have to switch games, they will keep creating, and I will keep buying their products.
And their game dies.
Many of you may just be D&D players and are understandably upset about where this is going.
Yeah.
I understand that this sucks. It genuinely does. But if this is true and the 1.1 OGL is released, even if you think the current changes are okay for now,
it's going to hurt you in the long run.
It's always 30 days away from being uncooperative, and creators know that. So, my recommendation,
and they can change the rules right on the dime, right in front of you.
Community is to
oh yeah, we said that we said we can help you. Nope, not no more, bitch.
these
turn their back on
with
your
their
ass.
due skepticism, but be prepared for them to be true. Unfortunately, only time will tell, but things are looking really bad right now.
This is literally the Nintendo
I'll
method.
update you either on Twitter, or if it's really big news, I will make another
they don't
video.
They ain't doing that no more. I'll tell you that much.
Until next time.
That felt big time. Well, there you go.
20,000 words.
There you go. This one of the next companies next to Nintendo method with their creator program. Report related. You literally want you to report. That is why. Hey, report on yourself for us. Hey, you making money? Report yourself, sir. Hey, you robbed that bank. Report yourself. Hey, you making money off your job? Hey, report that to me. Like they goddamn tax. Like you gotta pay your taxes. Hey, you drew that? Hey, pay us. Hey, that drawing, that piece of paper, that's text. That's a tax write off. We need that. God damn it. Oh man. Ooh, D&D. Now to follow Nintendo's footsteps. Well, hopefully enough outrage and fans see this to make them make a change. Because if this is true and they go ahead with this, woo, good luck. Anyway, Legendary out.